Hey there, beloved Ascension pioneers. I'm back in nature with another message. Yeah. So lately I want to talk about more inner things, even more things that have to deal with within. I did make a whole bunch of videos already on this note because my purpose here is not to channel anything, to direct anything, to advise anything, to because it's just my journey. It's how I feel, it's my soul awareness, and it's having to do with guiding you through what I share, through how I am in this awareness and the space of within, how you can be there as well through your own journey and your own soul awareness to tune into it. So today I received a question from one of my divine companions about channelings. Yes, I did address this topic many times before, and again I would like to enhance on this. She asked me whether, what I do when I do, and I've said this a lot of times, I do not channel, and I will explain this in this video, how this is different. And she said that how does that relate, with those who do channel, like certain people who channel certain awareness, for example, group awareness, or collective of souls, or a certain entity, even. And she was asking because her interest was in knowing, well, these people, when they channel, can they, kind of manipulate this content as well? Not by intention, but through ego, through their own filters. And my response was that yes, of course, because everything coming externally can be filtered through our minds, through our own description system, how we, through this body vehicle and through our own soul awareness, how we decipher something. So I've said this many times, each of us has a unique soul awareness. We all have that same, seed potential, but we're not all the same. We're individualized source aspects, we're souls. And the more that we tune into our individual soul blueprint and frequency, the more we can actually source from our soul, not channel. Because you see, the difference here is the channelings usually come from you merging your consciousness at that moment with the consciousness of a certain entity or collective or a group of beings, and then bringing forth that message again through your own filter. So you give it descriptions and meanings that you already have in your soul base, in your soul awareness. You cannot decipher it through something you yet don't know on that level, that is not yet encompassed in your field, your soul awareness. For example, people who talk about twin flame, twin soul subject, but they have not yet experienced this in the physical, this reunion on their soul journey. And they cannot talk about it. They can have ideas, they can interpret, they can decipher some things, they can feel, sense some things, maybe even coming from others. But if they have not yet experienced, it's another thing, you see. So with sourcing and channeling, there's a huge difference, because with channeling, you actually merge through that field, which is kind of like connecting, where we are here as grounded beings and those beings from other realms. And a lot of times this comes from the astral plane, which is this merging takes place, which is how I was shown this through spirit. And a lot of times, there's a lot of beings and entities there that reside that are not, in the highest enlightened state of being. So I've said this many times and I would not like to repeat it, so please watch those videos if you're so guided, that there's a lot of people, individuals, who have not yet done their inner work, and they're not yet pure channels. They can filter a lot through their ego. They can they can ascribe it the meaning that they know on their soul level, which is not what that being coming from is actually sharing. But I feel that a lot of beings who do channel already come from, which is how it's supposed to be, how it's natural. They already come from that source state. So they're actually channeling, for example, a group collective of their beings, for example, their soul family. If this is done this way, this channeling is authentic, because it is coming from their own group collective, when they're coming from as a soul awareness, But if it's coming from any sort of external influence that is not coming from your soul family, that it's coming from, your own signature as an oversoul, and I've been talking about oversouls and the 144 frequency, tune into that one as well. And it's just not the same, because it's not coming directly from their own origin, soul origin. And a lot of times this can be then filtered because that individual doesn't yet have that understanding to bring that information through. So a lot of beings who are, some would say star-seeded, I don't like to use that term, a lot of beings who are here on a mission, on a purpose, to bring as a representative of their group that soul awareness from that certain, let's say, a fraction of consciousness. So with channeling, you will get a certain fraction of consciousness, a certain understanding. For example, a Syrian perspective. You know, I've been reading books from Patricia Corey about messages from the Syrian Light Councils, and they say this is our perspective. You know, see our own, seek truth within. We're just sharing our perspective through this channel because she's coming from this family as well. For example, other beings as well said, we are only sharing this perspective. Be discerning. Go within. You know, you always need to find that own fragment of your consciousness where you feel aligned with something. So my main message here will be, towards the end, how it is important to really know that it's not about the messenger. It's about the message itself. And a lot of times people forget this. They put their focus too much on the messenger. And it's about the vibration coming through. So many times I said, feel it with your own gut senses and with your heart, which is, you know, most important because this is where spirit and matter meet. And you need to have your physical awareness and the spirit merged as one in that template, and then you can sense through everything. You can just feel. So the vibration, how it will feel, will it be loving? Will it be serving? Will it be oriented on the selfless service to all, not just their perspective that they're sharing through channeling. So this is important on this path. But what is sourcing, you know, and I like to explain, because I said through channeling you will get that perspective. So you might read channelings from different groups like Arcturians, Syrians, Pleiadians. These are all fractions of consciousness, and they're sharing their soul journey and their views and their agendas with the earth. Sometimes they're benevolent, sometimes they're not, you see? So again, use the heart, be discerning. With sourcing, on another note, which is what I do, and I always say I don't channel anything. I don't channel any entities, any star system sorts of consciousness. It's just that, of course, I do tune into the soul group frequency that I come from. But most of the times when I intend, I just go through my own soul. So you see, the main difference in channeling is you merge. When channeling, you have to merge your consciousness with another consciousness, and this usually takes place in the other fields, a lot of times in the astral. And with this, when you go through the soul, when you channel your own, which is basically sourcing, it's not channeling. You source your own soul awareness. You just tune into your own soul, your soul blueprint, your soul awareness. A lot of beings who have very developed soul awareness come here to assist, and all they need to connect, and I call these guys Ascension pioneers, you know. This is the term that I use, those who already know, and they're just remembering and just sharing this remembrance with others. They don't even need to channel anything. They might get, you know, certain glimpses from other beings as well, making contact with them, but their priority will always be focused on bringing the message to their own self, to their own authentic, divine, unique soul signature and purpose. So when you go directly through your soul, and you have that very evolved soul awareness, you will use it for service. You see, so how you will recognize that somebody is really sourcing from their soul is that they will always be yes, selfless service oriented, because they will be focused on putting that light out there as a pillar and sharing directly from their soul. So they're not plugging into anything externally. They're just sensing through their own inner senses, tuning into their soul frequency. And when they can connect and when they start embodying their soul, they can actually be in direct link with their higher self to the realms of the beloved I am, which is your unique, individualized I am presence within the greater I am, you see, which is within all that is. So when I say, you know, this and that, and bring messages about divine principles and things like that, I'm just tuning through my own soul, where I reside on a soul awareness, to the realms where I reside, which I call the realms of illuminated truth. For me personally, you know, and remember, this is my journey, this has to do with the truth that is one. You know, each planet, each star system, each unique fragment, you know, in a variation of creation will have its own set of principles, you know, like subparticles of it. And there's always the binding truth, the truth of one that binds all of these together. You know, there are principles that are cosmic, that are multiversal, that apply to all creation. But then there's also sub-principles, like we like to say, Earth is a free will individual zone, and it is. These are then the sub-principles that apply to different realms of experiences, different densities. And these we also learn, and basically usually through experiencing them. But there's also that all-encompassing truth with these principles. Some people call them universal truths, like universal laws, I think they call them, and they even share them, like the law of resonance, the law of attraction, the law of, I don't know, I don't know these names because I feel them more, I just know them, they're just in me. So these things, I believe, are important for people to remember, these all-structuring principles that govern all life. So they remember who they truly are in their divine essence. And then through experience and exploration, then you also explore creation, where you are now, where you reside. So this is the difference. This is the main difference, because when you plug into your soul awareness, you're actually just downloading what is already there. Sometimes, like I said, there are visitations, there's beings. I feel a lot of times I'm connected to the elvish realms, and even I am that kind of being. And that will bring you certain messages. But when you're really tuning through your own soul, this will be just, like your soul, oversoul root anyway. And this is how it will be authentic. So the individuals who cannot yet carry that amount of frequency when a certain message is coming can often distort it, because they use, for example, like you would try to explain different algebra, difficult algebra, or difficult computer functions to, 5-year-old, and they would just decipher it through their own brain capability, This is kind of the same thing. The same goes with the soul awareness, so with your own light awareness, is how much you can grasp at that moment. That kind of consciousness you can really channel or share authentically. If not, you will usually use your own descriptions and knowings. So again, be discerning, go within, ask yourself why you're asking this question in the first place, because obviously there's a message there for you. And if you're reading something, and if you're, finding someone else or sharing, even me, remember, it's not about us, it's about the messages being shared and what resonates with you, and you connecting with your own soul awareness. Don't judge others, don't say they're wrong or they're doing this improper way, but like I say, there's certain principles that are not wrong, that just are, because they're all permeating, they permeate all life, all creation. But according to where you are in your own soul awareness, that will be unique, of course. And I usually like to say truth is different in different states of awareness, and it has to do, like I said, with soul awareness, but also it is very connected with the fact that truth, the truth is just one, but there's experiences that are numerous. So these are the experiences, and yours will be different and mine will be different. These we can call personal truths, or however you wish to call it. And so when you're listening to different channelings or reading or whatever, even when it's coming through your own self, just remember that it's always about how it feels. It's about the message itself, not the messenger. Okay. Also, something new on my end is that lately I feel more guided to not so much address these topics, which of course I always will, but what also I would like to share is my own personal life, more intimately. I would like to bring more magic. I would like to just share my journey, how it is, because I live a simple but very profound life, inner life. When you just know how to observe magic through spirit, because you have to know spirit talks to you in everything. Spirit is felt. It's inner knowing. Spirit cannot be seen. People, when they say I see spirit, they mean spirits. That's not the same, you see? So spirit is felt, and even though it is felt, the messages will be, like I was saying, a lot of times they will be brought forth in different forms. People will bring you messages. You'll see them in nature. Every animal is bringing you a certain fragment of those messages, but then you feel them. So it's always about, like I said, not the messenger itself. It's not just people or writings or videos. It's also the animal companions, the trees, everything in nature, every blade of grass, everything that you sense in a certain way, and when there's a feeling coming through that, it's already a message, because the messages of spirit come through feeling, you're sensing. And that was always my channel. I just sensed things, I just knew them, and what is there internally can never ever be manipulated. That is the knowing that I like to say is that knowing which no one can take away from you, because it is deeply rooted in your light DNA. It is the cell encodement memory, and that is internal, and it cannot be manipulated. So as much as people that actually now activating their DNA, that are activating their DNA remembrance, which is basically your direct link to the Akasha. It's not other people who are telling you that or giving you data about it. It's your own direct DNA link to that. Akasha is just all living experiences everywhere, which we're all intrinsically connected to anyway. So as much as people that now are opening that doorway, that gateway, and activating this divine remembrance, the more we truly bring that into the light of all, to that light of truth. Not light or dark, but the light of truth of who we are as a divine essence. So my beloveds, on another note, a part of my journey is sharing this, and just sharing this divine remembrance that comes through me with all of you, but also in a way that brings magic. So this week I'm starting with a new blog. I'm opening a blog called Diary of the Ascension Pioneer. This is me. And there's so many of you out there, and I know that you can also prosper and benefit from my sharings to see how much magical life truly is. So I created this as an attempt to bring more magic into life, to really make you aware how we are to live in a higher dimensional state of being. So I see this next stage of my life is also to guide others to start living this way, a higher frequency life, because the old life is no longer there for those who have chosen physical ascension. It's no longer there. It's bye-bye. So I feel this task of mine now is shifting more to just sharing how I see how I filter through my eyes from magic, through my heart, of course. The eyes are just directly connected to it. And that's it, you guys. I hope you can have a lot of nice experiences, and I hope you can stay connected through my blog. You can subscribe or whatever, and you'll see all the links very soon. Take care. I love you all so much. Bye. Look, guys, isn't this such a magical forest? Although I know that the green that I see it, not the same that green that is filtered through this camera, because it's not the best one, but it's all green and mossy and more green. It's just, and can you hear the birds? They're just so loud today. And well, this is a part of my magic. It's very simple. Most people who are not open would come here, wouldn't know what I mean when I say that this, oops, this is just something brilliant. It's simplicity is always brilliant. Simplicity is who we are. It's nothing external, but when you see something mirrored, that beauty that you are, that grace externally, and when you can feel your whole heart space with it, when you can just, sometimes, when I see people, they just walk and walk, they never take a time to pause and look around and observe because they're so busy with what they're doing. I run too, but I run just a bit and then I focus on just being in nature. But some people just run and run, scatter about, always focused on the goal, the destination, the hurry. Well, I'm not like that. I like to just sit. Sometimes, I pick a different tree or a different spot every time. Even for when I record these videos, I always try to find another spot. So I just wanted to share at the end of the video this beautiful grassy, meadowy forest with all of you. And I love you all so much. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.